Welcome to the Southbridge Town Council meeting, Monday, December 22nd, 2025, 7 p.m., McKinney Council Chambers. Agenda item 1 to 1. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Councilor Lazo.
Present.
Councilor Montigny.
Excused.
Thank you. Councilor Adams.
Present.
Councilor Chenier.
Present.
Councilor Daniel.
Present.
Councilor Dow.
Present.
Councilor Kelly.
Present.
Councilor Ortiz.
Present.
And Councilor Pogos.
Present. Jesus.
Thank you.
We have a quorum. Moving on to agenda item number 3, consider to accept the meeting minutes of December 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the minutes of that meeting? If not, all those in favor?
I abstain.
Opposed? One abstention. Moving on to agenda item number 4, subcommittee reports. Department of Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, agenda items number 9, 22 through 25 are on tonight's agenda. We'll discuss. We had a meeting on December 17th, and we do not have one scheduled in the future.
Moving on to Education and Human Services. No report at this time. Moving on to General Government.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, we have not had a meeting since our last council meeting, but we do have one scheduled for January 7th.
Planning and Development.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, we had a meeting on December 17th. Items 10, 17 through 21 were talked about, and we have no meeting in the future scheduled at this time.
Moving on, Protection of Personal Property. Councilor Ortiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, we haven't had a meeting and don't have one scheduled as right now.
Moving on to Chairman's announcements. I first of all would like to send my best out to Aisha Montigny. She went into surgery, Councilor Montigny's wife, and that is the reason why he's not here. He's excused. Hope she has a speedy recovery. Moving on to one of the I got to attend, and I'd like to thank the council for attending the appointment or the honor of our police chief to the the Police Chiefs State Association, and Chief Woodson is going to head it up, and it was really a proud moment when those Boston bagpipes came in, and the uniforms, they look like just nothing but class. The Southbridge PD and the community of Southbridge represented well. I commend the town manager and the councilors for being there. It was a good show of strength and support for our chief and for our department. Moving on to the appointment of the bylaw committee. It's the chairman's appointment, and I brought forward the chairman will be Steve Kelly, Gary Fontaine, Tim Cook, Pasquale Morabito, and Kevin Spillane. 5 members. Once you begin work after the first of the year, of course, I urge you to communicate with Councilor Montigny and the Charter Committee, because the amendments of the bylaw might overlap into the charter or vice versa. So I think that would work really well. I have nothing else at this time, so I'll move on to town manager's announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I have a pretty lengthy list of updates. Last meeting, I had just come back that first day, so I didn't have much, but just over the last 3 weeks, been reviewing a lot of things from my leave of 2 months. So first off, update on the 18 to 30 Mill Street. There is a change order that will be processed this evening. We will then meet with the inspections department and to Costello to set the work plan, and we also have conversations with DEP regarding some issues there. The goal is to minimize any closing of the businesses in the area. It's estimated it'll take 2 to 3 weeks of handwork and separation. We will have a meeting with the abutters, and we'll be scheduling that. And also conversations with Peg and Katie Yoder. We'll be working on possible brownfield grants for any further work that we have to do for environmental. So we'll be working on that in the next several months on brownfield grants. A reminder that alternate side parking is in effect. It's been in effect until April 1st, 2026. I have seen some things on social media asking whether we ticket if there's no snow emergency. They do ticket if there's no snow emergency, so make sure you're aware that it is alternate side parking, and ticketing will occur. They do give out courtesy tickets at the beginning of the year unless there's a snow. Tomorrow, we're anticipating 1 to 3 inches, so make sure you're parked on the right side of the street. And a reminder, today is the 22nd, so therefore, parking would be on the even side, and that would start at 7 p.m. this evening till 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and then alternate back and forth. A follow-up to Councilor Shenyer's inquiry at the Department of Public Works Subcommittee regarding the hot box, just as a point of information to everybody here in regards to that conversation. The hot box was delivered. It's been assigned to truck number 54. That truck is also a sander spreader and is interchangeable. Unit is a diesel burner that keeps the mix hot, so when they go get mixed for the early in the morning for the day, if they don't use it all, they're not going to run the diesel burner, so they have to put in an electrical outlet into the DPW building. Fortunately, the school department has hired a master electrician, and we are coordinating with them to have those outlets put in so that it will be operational both inside and outside. I've been assured by the DPW director and the operations manager that it will be operational this year. Because this would be the third winter that this has been going on from the time it was ordered, just received within the last month or so. So it took us a while to get it here, but it will be used this year. Regards to Councilor Dow and his computer and cash for the Treasurer Collector's Office, I have seen the iPad with the pedestal. It will be installed. The IT director was out today ill, but he is putting it together. He is working with the unit to make sure that we have it configured so that people can't get to other inappropriate sites. So he's making sure that works. In regards to the cash payments, conversation was held regarding accepting cash in the inspections department. We all agree that we should be able to do that. However, we have to unpack some things that go with OpenGov, and this has led to a couple other things that we have to look at regarding our OpenGov because it's not being utilized to its fullest extent, and how it gets reported with cash and all that. So we'll be conducting a complete review of our OpenGov system to make sure that we're utilizing it and make sure that it's right for the town of Southbridge. So we are working on that. Regards to the animal control project, the project has received the local permit and it's been approved with conservation and planning. We're working continually with the architect to get the design to construction bid specs. The mechanical engineer that was working on it has stepped out of the project, and McClure is looking to secure an alternate. We are coordinating Chairman Lazo on the building committee and Chris McClure, the engineer, for a meeting after the new year to discuss status and recommendations with the animal control building committee. Update on the RFP for the airport lease of the diner. I've been in communication with Rick Clements over the last week regarding their RFP. They've reviewed it. PEG has reviewed it to ask for any input for tweaking the RFP. We will be posting that after the holidays, and our goal is to have an operator there in the spring. That's the goal by them. We have received numerous inquiries from different companies and vendors that are looking to come up there, which is good, so that's good. Today I received a resignation of a firefighter. Came in after I met with you today, Counselor. That firefighter is effective January 2nd. I believe he's going over to Auburn. He's one of the ones that are going over to Auburn. And with that, now we have 2 openings with the recent, or the coming up retirement of Lieutenant Jacques Kellyan. We will be working with the fire chief to post those and make sure that we get those positions filled. Congratulations to Lieutenant Jacques Kellyan on his walkout last week. It was a great event. It was quite a testimony, I think, to his 30-plus years of service to the town, the number of people that were at that event. For the walkout, it was great to see him go out, and we will work for those vacancies, both firefighter, lieutenant, and so forth. Councilor Adams has requested an updated list of boards, commissions, vacancies. Jeanette in my office, who's doing a fabulous job, working with her the last 3 weeks. She's been here about 2 months, but she's really has stepped up, and she's verifying the list with Maddie, the town clerk, and we'll send that out hopefully next week we'll get that out to everybody. Peg and Sue Starkey in the CDBG office asked me to announce the following, that the town of Southbridge will be holding a public hearing to receive public input on the town's FY24 Community Development Block Grant Mini Entitlement Program activities and FY 2025 CDGB ME grant applications. The meeting will be held in the Economic Development and Planning Department. Those hearings will be held Thursday, January 15th at 2026 at 5 p.m. and Monday, February 9th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Those will be held in her office, and we'll post that to the website as well. Be working with Councilor Daniel in regards to appointments, my appointments to a municipal building committee for the town hall. We have received the feasibility study. We have some repairs, major repairs that have to be done to this building that will necessitate a building committee. So we'll be working with that to bring that group to the council for confirmation in the near future next month. As we wrap up the end of this year, we're ending the second quarter and we're going to enter the third quarter of fiscal year 26. And again, last 3 weeks I've had the opportunity to meet with all the department heads, go over their operations, what's pending for the rest of this year, set the goals for this year, and start working on next year. Our tax recap and tax rate certification has been completed. The tax rate was approved. The tax bills will be going out by December 31st, so therefore we're in good standing there. The end of the year report for the schools was finally completed and sent to DESE. We are working aggressively to complete our Schedule A so we can get that and free cash certified. We'll be working on a timeline on that. In regards to the curbside program, I have communicated with several individuals regarding the review. It is currently pending with legal for some recommendations and opinions, as well as some follow-up with DOR that we will need to complete. The DOR is currently working on the tax rates, so our rep is working on those right now, and we will follow up after the first of the year with that. But we do have an aggressive review with that. We've also met with Casella, discussing some of the concerns that we've had, and we have a follow-up meeting with Casella scheduled in the next, right after the first of the year. In regards to requests, as far as quarterly reports to town council, I have to admit that we have not been as forthright providing those quarterly reports. That's on me, that's on my staff, but me specifically as town manager, I take responsibility for that. As soon as we close out on December 30th, we will have an updated quarterly report, get that information out to the town council for the January 12th meeting. Question was brought up. I welcome the opportunity that I've met with councilors, and after a lengthy meeting, some information regarding what our budget message was for FY27. I had, with our finance team, prepared finance memo to go out to department heads, and it was distributed on October 31st. So I'll just give the council a brief update, and I'll get more information to you as we go forward. This budget memo was prepared and distributed to department heads on October 31st with a message of level service budget, not a level funded budget, but a level service budget as a first pass. We instructed all our department heads in bold that no new positions or service expansions require additional funding should be proposed at this time. If they believe that there were extenuating circumstances warranting anything other than a level service budget, to provide a detailed explanation to the town manager's office, as well as cost estimates for the increase separate from the regular budget. This is necessitated by the fact that we're unsure on federal funding, we're unsure on state funding, so for the first pass, if they believe that they had an extenuating circumstance that required additional personnel to provide that to us, so they were not told absolutely not, based on their recommendations, but we were going to propose a level service budget. Both those budgets were due to our office by December 19th for Friday. Our goal is to have the budget to the town council for March 2nd, 2026. Subcommittee meetings to be scheduled for the month of March. The public hearing is tentatively scheduled for May 4th, and the town council adoption of the budget is scheduled for May 18th, 2026. So that's the budget message there. In regards, follow-up to the chairman, I do want to congratulate Chief Woodson on his installation as Mass Chief of Police President. As a life member of that organization and a former member as an active police chief, I do understand the importance of that organization. They represent over 400 chiefs in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. To rise and ascend to the presidency is something and a testament to his leadership that he provides to our community and now to the state, and it was a great event, well attended by many local as well as state partners. I know the chief will do a wonderful job because I do know, and I have said this for a number of years in both my capacity on town council, now as a town manager, if one were to look at our police department, it is truly reflective of our community. There are not many police departments that reflect the true diversity of our community, and his department truly embodies that. Superintendent Receiver, I meet on a bi-weekly basis. I had the opportunity to go with him this week to the Eastford Road first grade concert. It was a great event. The kids were fantastic. They sang well and well behaved, and did have an opportunity to see the school a little bit, and we do have work ahead of us, and I have talked to the chairman about what our next step is with the schools themselves and building committee and feasibility study there. And finally, in this holiday season, I just want to thank all of those community partners that we have out there, business leaders sitting up here and in our community, for all the work that they do to support our different organizations. As a member of the Lions Club, we participate in the Cops and Kids Steve Ide. I just want to let you know that based on that, with the Lions Club, Southbridge Credit Union, other banks, the Southbridge Police, thanks to the Sturbridge Police, this year we had over 200 families that we supported during this holiday season that were in need. That's an increase from 25 families last year, and we do know more, they're out there. Not only that, you know, John Belanger was giving Christmas trees out, and that was through a partnership at the school, because the school went down there just simply to get some greens and asked, you know, just some greens to do something at school. Becky Hewlick, Deputy Chief's wife, asked, and then that spurred a conversation about families that don't have trees, and I believe he donated, based on business donations and everything, half of his lot to families in the community, and wants to expand that next year in the community. Coats for school children. There are many people in our community. I know my wife, for one, always every year brings coats to the schools and collects them. So there are a lot of kids in need, and just want to thank all the agencies that we have in the community in the spirit of giving during this holiday season, and happy holidays to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. I'm going to back over to Chairman's announcements. I just found out a long-time police officer in the town of Southbridge and Southbridge resident, Sergeant Lucian Jolan, has passed away, and I would like to have a moment of silence for Sergeant Jolan. Thank you. I left something out. I'd like to thank Patty Julian and Julia Pena for the decorations and the council Christmas tree. They did a great job on the sit down with the employees, and I think I thank them for their decorations. And I'd like to wish the town of Southbridge a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The 2026 will be better than 25. Okay, moving on to presentations. Are there any presentations here tonight? No. Moving on to Citizens Forum. Are there any citizens that would like to speak to the council that speak to an agenda that's not on the agenda for any issues?
Hi, Maureen Doyle, 771 Lebanon Hill, Southbridge. First of all, I want to remind you all that the third of the film series Regenerating Life will be on January 10th. If your New Year's resolution is to walk more gently on the earth, this is for you. It will be from 3 to 4:30 at the Joshua Hyde Library, that's in Sturbridge, and a discussion with one of the creators will happen after the film. So that's January 10th. And yesterday was the winter solstice. It's the shortest day of the year, but the days will get gradually longer. By February 2nd, also known as Groundhog Day, we'll have almost a whole hour of light more. And lastly, please honor the charter and read any bylaws. It's a matter of democracy and transparency. 2-6-3 of the charter says that every bylaw should be read at 3 separate meetings. And I think the one that's on the agenda today said that it was read on December 3rd, but it was not read. It's not too difficult to read a bylaw, seriously. It's one of your jobs as counselors. Thank you. Have a good holiday and New Year.
Are there any other residents that would like to address the Southbridge Town Council on any issues that are not on the agenda? If not, moving on to agenda item number 9. Vote to confirm the town manager's promotion of Michael Magnet to the position of maintenance man / heavy equipment operator for the Department of Public Works, effective immediately as recommended by the Department of Public Works Director.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion. Town manager. DPW recommendation?
DPW, unanimous, all present, approval, recommended approval.
Thank you. Just that Michael is here this evening. This was a recommendation. Michael has been with us a number of years, very valuable to our Department of Public Works, holds the licenses. It's my pleasure to recommend him for appointment.
Mike, would you like to come up and make a speech? Councilor Dow would be ultimately impressed.
I'd like to thank all you guys for the opportunity to sit in that seat and hopefully make the town proud. I'd like to thank Bob for, giving me the appointment and allowing me to get the opportunity, and all the guys at the DPW that have, let me learn, let me have the patience to give me the experience and just show me how to do the ropes. And
Thank you very much. Are there any
appreciate
questions?
Thank you,
Councilor
Chair,
Dow.
for you. Mike, thank you for coming forward for that position. You're a hard worker. Every time I drive, and I'm up and down a lot in town, I have to travel between businesses and business. Every time I bump to you, you're doing something, you're working. You're not sitting, you're not drinking coffee, you're not shooting bolt, whatever, I don't want to say the word, but thank you very much for the hard worker to serve the town and the residents of Southbridge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Mike, appreciate you coming and stepping up, and all the licenses you got. I mean, it's amazing
Yeah,
how you got
thank
all
you.
that stuff, but congratulations to you tonight, and obviously, we highly recommend you for that position.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions by council? If not, Mike, you always were a great acquisition. You've proved yourself. I'm glad you stepped up. Thank you very much. We appreciate you and all you do for town Southbridge. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If no further discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to agenda item number 10. Vote to confirm the town manager's appointment of Bridget Bachamp to the Economic Development Commission for the 3-year term effective immediately until June 30th, 2028, state ethics in good standing.
Second.
A motion and a second.
Thank you,
Councilor Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. This was a unanimous recommendation to move forward with the appointment.
Councilor Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank Bridget for stepping up to the plate and doing this. I'm glad to see that the Economic Commission is finally getting where it needs to be. And but thank you very much for hopefully other volunteers from the community will come forward as well. Thank you.
Bridget is here, Council Dow, so Bridget's here.
Thank you.
Bridget, would you like to come up to the microphone? Councilor Dow likes to know who he's appointing. It's not a name, it's actually a person behind the name.
Hi, everyone. So yes, I decided to join the Economic Planning and Development Committee. It's a cause close to my heart. It's why I do Halloween with the Recreation Committee and why I dovetail it to match Sturbridge. So we're just trying to get traffic down Main Street in Southbridge, right? To spend money.
Good idea.
Yeah, well, that's my cause. We're just trying to get more people here to find out how cute it is and how much we love it and how wonderful everybody who lives here is. So, thank you for appointing me.
Are there any councils that would like to comment? Councilor Dow?
Thank you, Chair Trio. Thank you for coming tonight. It's important to either not only me to see what I'm voting on, obviously the residents, they like to know who's the person serving and volunteer, and maybe they're jealous or learn from who's stepping forward in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And Merry Christmas and Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to,
Got to vote.
ooh, no further discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to council, agenda item number 11, vote to authorize the town manager request on behalf of the town council a financial management review through the Division of Local Services Financial Management Resource Bureau. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Is there a motion and second? Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, thank you, Chairman, for allowing me to bring this directly up here to council. Over the course of several months, we've had dialogue with residents regarding certain issues that we uncover throughout time. A question came up about whether we had ever done a Division of Local Services financial management review. And in that review of the information to provide to that resident, it was we did have one email back and forth that was followed up with conversation that the council had discussed prior to me becoming the town manager, having this financial management review completed. At the time, when the conversations that we had with the Department of Local Service project manager, the conversation that I had at that time was I was a brand new town manager that was in the throes of trying to fill key positions at that time. We had no finance director, treasurer collector, town assessor, et cetera. We were trying to get the enterprise fund underway. We had new programs that we were trying to put in place, and perhaps it would be best to put that on hold. And they agreed, given all the things that we had up against us in those phone conversations that I had with her. When this came up, I thought about it and said, now would be the time to have that review done. I welcome that input from people because it has been a challenge over the last couple of years. We, as of the end of, starting January 1st, it will be 2 full years since we put people in place in our finance team. Took time to uncover different things, to work on programs, to implement some programs, and see where we're at. And we're nowhere close to where we should be, and I admit that, and we have to find out better ways. Are we doing things well? Are we doing things not so well? What are some recommendations that we can put in place? And my memo outlines those things that we've done and what I'm requesting DLS to do. And reviewing some reports, I think it would be time, and I do agree in reviewing this. One, let's take a look at our government structure in the context of the duties and responsibilities of our financial and human resources teams. Not only the town side, but the school side. We are now transitioning or attempting to transition to move back to local control on the school committee. They have been using an outside consultant for at least 4, 5, 6 years in their financial departments. They are transitioning to local business manager. They have an interim business manager right now. They have human resources functions. I would welcome an outside party to come in and look at that relationship between the town and the school and what perhaps we can work together and implement. When Munis was put in, and the nice thing about having been here in different capacities, I see it from different angles, and maybe fellow councilors that have been on. We were here when Munis was first implemented into the town. It was implemented on the recommendations of the school department, was really the impetus that kind of that open architects were pushing us to the Munis from KVS at the time, and the implementation of that program. The school uses one attendance and time modular. Our police department uses one. We try to use one, so perhaps we can look at those IT functions as well. So let's take a look at that interaction. Is there an opportunity for us to merge some of our HR together and put it under one umbrella? Our IT operations. Let's look at the efficiency of our financial operations. What recommendations could they give? What are our financial procedures and policies? What kind of guidance can they give to update those? Again, our information technology and systems. We have a multitude of systems that we put in place. We have Munis in place. We know that we instituted MuniLink for our curbside collection, and that was really why it was kind of put in place, because we didn't have good feedback from Munis, and we were rushed to put this program in place for curbside. We've now transitioned our curbside billing, our water and sewer billing all to one individual, a new individual that has a new fresh look with Sarah in the collector's office. They've been able to take that. Is it time to look at that and say, MuniLink might not be the best product for us, and look to Munis to try to get us back into Munis for our curbside? And there's a whole host of issues that I can explain at a later meeting of the interaction between MuniLink and Munis. We were sold one bill of goods that really isn't providing us good operations. Our open gov structure, a lot of money. We spend a lot of money on technology. Let's review that. And finally, a review of our town charter and town bylaws regarding our financial policies. So it's all outlined in my memo. I would ask that you support this. It does require the town council to vote to authorize the town manager to do that, and we would get that. What that would do is get us into the queue so they could set up a team to do the review. Thank you.
Councilor Shinyo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A lot of these things that you're talking about, isn't that done by our audit company?
Our audit does a review of our financial books. This would be our overall operations.
And is this a fee to us?
No, it's free.
And how long will it take to be implemented or done?
I'll have to coordinate further on that. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy study that they do. You can go online, you can find a number of studies that they've completed. I'll get a better sense once we're authorized to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Adams.
To the town manager, I appreciate you stepping forward with this. I want to say thank you to Shelley Klein as well, and all the residents that reached out utilizing the DLS. It's a good tool, especially if you were here back in when we had a plethora of individuals leaving right after COVID, from the town manager, our finance director, and everything else. And a lot of things that were practiced before have gone to possibly to the wayside. And it's just a review of management of the finances within it. But as far as a financial audit specifically, probably not in that region. But that they're there to help the town and our finance people to make sure we're on the right track and give it where we're doing right, wrong, or indifferent. So thank you, Mr. Town Manager, for doing that. Appreciate it.
Any further discussion? Councilor?
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Through you, I just want to also congratulate the manager on bringing this back after it being put aside a couple of years ago. It never hurts to take a fresh look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I think in the sense of creating efficiencies and bringing us into the 21st century, because there's still some things that are being done or that we're questioning, as has been brought up by other councils here as recently as this evening. I think that it can't hurt at all. I think it's to the benefit of the town, and that we'll get a good report from DLS, Division of Local Services, about what's happening and how we can make it better. So I echo Councilor Adams, and again, I congratulate the manager on bringing this forward. Thank you.
Any further discussion by anybody else? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 12, vote to authorize the town manager into an agreement with TBD, the lowest responsive responsibility quote for the emergency replacement of the boiler at the wastewater treatment plant. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Discussion.
Chairman,
Town
through
manager.
you, last week we were informed that both boilers at the wastewater treatment plant are down. One, the boiler cracked and poured water into the chamber, so therefore it's going to necessitate replacement. We have, under normal procurement policies, we would have to go out and write a quote, write a bid spec, post it, certify it, and all that. We got a DCAM waiver, which was included in your packet. That DCAM waiver allows us to bypass certain requirements. We still have to get 3 responsible quotes. We are waiting on, we have 1 right now. We're waiting on the other 2 to come in. This would allow us to move forward and make sure that they're ordered and everything, and not have to wait till the January 12th meeting. So we will provide all documentation to the council, but this is an emergency procurement of a boiler.
Kelly, Council Kelly, then Council Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. Do we have any idea of what
Cost?
cost this is going to be?
One quote was $185,000.
Okay.
Council Daniel.
Wow. What are they doing right now?
We have installed temporary heat electrical.
Council Red.
Mr. Chair, do you have an idea where we're going to get this money from, as far as the stabilization, capital stabilization?
We do have money within the enterprise fund, $100,000 in the reserve. There may be other monies, or we will look at one of the projects that we have pending. We had the screener that we had purchased for DPW that came in less, there's about approximately $85,000 less than that. So we would look at existing sewer enterprise capital accounts that we have had to see what we prioritize. We did have a meeting with the sewer department on other projects, so we'll be able to get that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Any further discussion by council? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 13, vote to authorize applying for the Massachusetts Community Biodiversity Grant Program and authorize the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Council Daniels, does this go to your subcommittee?
No, this went to EHS, Mr. Chairman?
EHS?
Yeah, there was, if you want.
Could you please?
Yeah, thank you. This was a unanimous, those present at EHS. It was proposed by Mike Brunel in Recreation Department. He wants to apply for this grant. There's no cost to the town. There's no match. Mike's unable to be here today because he was ill today and was not in. So he does have the proposal. It has to be in for the 26th. There have been other community gardens in the community. He's looking to expand those and fix some of the existing ones. So I'd like to support this.
Discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 14, vote to authorize a transfer of $500,000 from account number 0842, Capital Stabilization Fund, to project number 64150, demolition of buildings, for the demolition of 1830 Mill Street, and authorize the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion. Mr. Town Manager.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. While I was out, town council authorized a contract for $318,000 for the demolition of 18 to 30 Mill Street. We have a change order of $102,000, which is the next agenda item. And the $500,000, the reason for that is the fact that we may have to pay for some police details, we may have to pay for some silt fencing that goes in there, whatever ancillary things, whatever is left, we would then transfer back to capital stabilization, but this would give us a little bit of a contingency for that work to be completed.
Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 15, vote to authorize change order number 1 to the Costello Dismantling Company Incorporated contract in the amount of $102,000 due to the additional separation work that is needed to safely take 1830 Mill Street down. Allow the town manager sign all related paperwork.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Mr. Town Manager.
Thank you. The change order was in your packet based on the separation that has to go between the existing facility, which is well-maintained, and our tax title bill that we took, we want to make sure that we do it as safely as possible, and that, hence, that was the recommendation to have this change order completed.
Discussion? No, just Councilor Daniels?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the manager. Will this separation, does that protect Green Meadows as well as the buildings behind Abacus, I think it's called?
Yes.
All right, so it's everything.
Yeah, it's for
that's
everything
around.
to safely take it down. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. Why didn't we know that we were going to have to incur this expense before? I mean, this apparently is a surprise that we would have to engage in this kind of work, separation work. I'm assuming we had a bid and that they gave us an estimate based on what they thought the work was going to be. I'm just, why do we need to pay additional money for the work that I think we've already contracted for?
I'll do my best to answer this. You have, I wasn't here for the original walk-around on the scope of work that they completed, and it's an emergency demolition, so normally you'd have an engineer with a whole bid scope and everything else more detailed. I think they had the original, when they looked at it visually, then got this first scope of $318,000. That also was going to necessitate us closing down businesses for up to 18 days, I believe. And when they went back to look at it to say, okay, how can we safely get between that, their building and the building we have to take down, they added that there was additional work. That's all I can say right now. I mean, it's difficult work to take down. We want to make sure we take it down as safely as possible, not just go with a crane and just knock it down.
I think initially the bid was to take the crane and knock it down. And they thought there would be a problem with the fall of the distance of the height of the building. The original estimate that came in was over $1 million. And when the $1 million came in, we all basically had to choke up a little bit and say, whoa, you know? But we did everything that we could do with engineers to find out, is this building savable? Because there were people that, if it was viable, would have invested into this building. But when the engineering portion comes out, and it comes out like over a little over $1 million, then they get further working with the engineer and stuff, they find out it's going to go for a different number. And then when they looked at, I think they did not look at the beginning part of that building where it attaches to the Green Meadows and that A&M building. So what happens now is they have to manually take it apart. You're not going to just take a machine and grab it. They need to take it apart far enough down where they can actually then just knock it in. I think that's what happened, but I think that was probably an oversight by the contractor and an accommodation to the businesses at that end of the unit.
If I may. If you look at their, it looks like, it does appear that they did a further follow-up with their structural engineer that they have on site to make sure that could be taken down quickly. I think the original was a visual scope of potentially how they could take it down, and then as they worked their work plan, they found that it would be a little bit more intensive to safely take it down. We're stuck because the building's condemned, it's tax title, and I agree, you don't want change orders. We never want change orders. We're trying to minimize change orders on the fire station, but I agree, but...
if I may, I understand that, but this seems to be, this seems to be within the scope of work that we've already contracted for. So now we're getting an additional expense. There's no real surprise here. I mean, they knew the buildings were attached. They had to, I'm not really sure why they've decided now that they're going to come back at us for more money. We already had to have a signed contract for them to take the building down. Why do we have to eat it?
Councilor Senior.
Mr. Chair, to the town manager, isn't this potentially, part of this is to prevent closure of businesses where the town could be liable for the expense of that business being closed for 2 weeks, say?
That was one factor, but the biggest factor is the safety. The safety of the building at Green Meadows, the safety of Abacus that's in that close proximity. I originally thought that this would be a lot more, And I honestly think, I don't know, because I wasn't part of the first walk-around. We have a job meeting coming up. The biggest thing is to get that building separated. We already have pressure from the owner of not Green Meadows, but the owner of 64 Mill Street, about the concerns that he has with the building that's attached. This was the safe way for us to get that apart, so to minimize, because they are connected, we want to minimize any damage, potential damage to the adjoining building. This whole thing, normally, I think in a project, you would be able to go in and really have an engineer study it very detailed to figure out where beams are and how it separates before you go out to bid. Here we've been ordered to tear it down. They get the best cost estimate, and then there's as they do further, as they work their work plan, realize that it might be more detailed than was originally expected. I don't like the price, but I originally thought it was going to be at least $1 million to take it down.
How many more of these should we expect coming down the road? I mean, this is obvious. Like, again, I see this as within the scope of work that we've contracted for. I don't see this as some kind of surprise. And you know, I mean, are they going to, every time they, you know, decide they want more money for the project, they're going to come back at us and with another $100,000 bill? I mean, it's just, you know, the scope of work is to tear down that building, and they knew that it's quite obvious the building's attached to something else, so now you know, this can't be a surprise to them. Thank you.
Councilor Dow?
Thank you, Chair, through you. I believe that was discussion more than 500,000. When the acting town manager did the quote, it was an emergency. It's no much time to be able to go details and make sure what need to be done properly, what safety purposes, detailing. Other building was kind of a Russian thing for safety. Don't hurt any public going by theirs or any vehicle. And after, I believe the town manager came in and looked at it carefully and study it more, they come up with that. And I believe they did the right thing, came now for the 102 button and started the job and then say, hey, we need another $500,000, and then where we're gonna come up with it. I believe the price to take that building down is fair. I don't think we're going to face any extra charges in the future, regardless of that building. It's not like a new project. You have a blueprint, engineer, design, and review and study, and you do pre-bid on it like a new construction. It's something, it's fallen down, it's not safe. Sometimes you got to act fast. You can't get the best price or the best idea, and then you realize down the road, hey, we're missing something here or something there. I can't blame anybody on that. Thank you, town manager, for moving forward and hurry up, put that building down before somebody get hurt. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Only one thing, Mr.
Go
Chairman. Thank you. Just besides what the councilor's already said, do you know if maybe, Chairman, you can answer this question too, the integrity of the wall that's going to remain, like the Jake's building, is that possibly in jeopardy? Because I know within this, that company's not going to touch it as they chip away.
This is $102,000 accommodation, an extra safety factor. Okay. I do share the same thought as Councilor Kelly as far as when you bid a job, you bid it. But what happens with something like this, when the engineer came in, the original was like $1.1 million or whatever it was, but it was an off-the-cuff shot, and then it came in where they said that the elevator shaft is actually holding the building. And it's a battered building anyways, so the thing is to disconnect it and not cause further damage to the other buildings that are actually attached to it. Okay. I think that this was probably an oversight at that time, that they were going to just grab the building and take it, pull it down, start at one end and work towards it. But this one here is a $100,000 safety valve for those businesses, and they probably won't even have to close up. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's great. I just wanted to make sure the integrity of that wall, their walls are good to go, you know? Yeah. I hate to see it pulled down, chipped away, and then all of a sudden
I share
we
the
got another-
frustration, but I think it's worth the money.
Absolutely.
Get a new front door.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
We have gone in and documented all with photographs through the inspections department. And we have been for the last 2 years, photographing any damages between those walls. So we do have a good baseline of what that was.
Thank you.
If you look at the building on the back side, the bricks are popping off. If you look at the building on the front side, it's blowing off. Time is of the essence at this point. And so I do agree that, when you bid, you bid. But in this case here, I think this is a major league accommodation to the businesses at that end. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? One opposed. Moving on to 16, vote to authorize the transfer of $350,000 from account number 0842, Capital Stabilizations Fund, to the project account number TBD 39 Elm Street property for the property acquisition and associated costs. All allow the town manager to sign all related paperwork.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 17, vote to approve the budget amendment to the CDBG FY 22-23 grant to move $210,000 from 5C commercial rehab as follows: $6,000 to 4A housing rehab program, delivery $156,000 to the 4C housing rehab, and $48,000 to the 9 general administration, allowing the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Council Daniel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was voted unanimously to move forward.
Any discussion by council? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 18, vote to approve a grant extension of the FY 22-23 grant to June 30th, 2026 to allow for the completion in the 4C housing rehabilitation, 5C commercial rehabilitation, and the 8B senior tenant social services program activities and associated 9 administrative activities in the spring of 26. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
Council Daniels?
This was voted unanimously to move forward.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 19. Vote to approve entering into a community development block grant funded commercial rehabilitation deferred payment loan contract between the town and Nancy Perez, the business owner of Veras Perez Grocery at 101 Central Street, in the amount of $14,709. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Council Daniel.
This was voted unanimously to move forward.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 20, vote that the town council adopt a resolution to dedicate land to the recreation purposes for the development of the Marcos Rios Memorial Playground, and the motion required to be eligible for the Parkland acquisition and renovations for the community's FY 26 grant. Allows the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Council Daniels?
This was voted unanimously to move forward, and it's my understanding that the resolution has to be read into the record.
Do we need to read it into the record tonight?
Yes, we do. I've got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Good
Go
evening,
ahead,
councilors.
Peg.
Yes, if I may, is this on?
Yep.
If the council could please read this evening. We have to adopt this before the end of December. And then once this is adopted, we enter into the agreement under the terms, and we can go ahead and order our playground equipment. Very exciting.
Councilor Daniels,
Okay.
if you may.
Here we go. Okay, a resolution to dedicate land to recreation purposes, to appropriate funds, and to authorize an application for park grant funding for development of the Marcos Rios Memorial Playground. Whereas community-wide assets and the preservation and improvements to these facilities are a priority as evidenced in the most recent open space and recreation plan, and whereas Marcos Rios Memorial Playground is being dedicated to park and recreation purposes under Mass General Laws, Chapter 45, Section 3, and whereas Marcos Rios Memorial Playground development of a toddler park adjacent to the existing gazebo with new playground features on a rubberized surface surrounded by a paved bike track will greatly enhance the health and wellness of Southbridge residents, providing a safe and accessible neighborhood park for toddlers. And whereas the new development will be implemented within 3 years. And whereas to defray the cost of the new development of Marcos Rios Memorial Playground, the town applied to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for a grant under the Parklands Acquisitions and Renovations for Communities, known as the PARC program. And whereas, as a condition of said grant, the town wishes to reaffirm the dedication of Marcos Rios Memorial Playground for park and active recreation purposes in perpetuity, and to transfer custody thereof to the Recreation Committee for said purposes. And whereas the town council serves as the legislative body of the town of Southbridge, and whereas the best interest of the town would be served by dedicating Marcos Rios Memorial Playground for said purposes, transferring the custody thereof, and appropriating funds for said project. Now therefore be it ordered by the Town Council of the Town of Southbridge that A, the care, custody, and control of the property known as Marcos Rios Memorial Playground, consisting of the parcel of land on Evergreen Street, shown on Assessor's Map 28 as Parcel 1, inclusive, and containing 19.89 acres more or less, is transferred from the board or officer currently having custody thereof for the purposes for which it is currently held to the Recreation Committee for park and active recreational purposes, and to dedicate said park in perpetuity to said purposes under the provisions of General Law, Chapter 45, Section 3, and other Massachusetts statutes related to recreation. B, appropriate the sum of $140,000 for the new development of Marcos Rios Memorial Playground for a toddler park adjacent to the existing gazebo with new playground features on a rubberized surface surrounded by a paved bike track and any costs related or incidental thereto, and the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow said sum under General Law, Chapter 44, Section 7, 8C, and 12A, or pursuant to any other enabling authority, and to issue bonds or notes of the town therefore, and any premium received by the town upon the sale of any bonds or notes approved by this vote, lest any such premium apply to the payment of the costs of the issuance of such bonds or notes may be applied to the payment of costs approved by the vote in accordance with General Law, Chapter 44, Section 20, thereby reducing the amount authorized to be borrowed to pay such costs by a like amount, provided, however, that no funds shall be expended until the town has received a grant commitment in the amount of $98,000 under the Park Grant Program 301 CMR 5. And C, authorize the town manager and/or the economic development and planning director or their designee to apply for and accept on behalf of the town funds granted under the Parkland Acquisitions and Renovations for Communities Grant and/or any other funds, gifts, grants under any federal and/or state program in any way connected with the scope of this article, and enter into all agreements and execute any and all instruments as may be necessary or convenient to effectuate the foregoing project. This resolution shall take effect upon passage.
Thank you, Councilor. Any questions? Any discussion? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, all present. Moving on to 21. Vote to accept the legislative earmark for $25,000 for the Marcos Rios Memorial Playground. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
Is a motion and second? Discussion?
This is voted
Councilman.
unanimously to move forward.
I'd like to take a minute to thank the State Representative Marcy for retrieving this from Boston. And I know there's a deadline that we have to spend it by a certain date. And we're looking into the bathrooms. We're trying to get the keys to get in. I think we could probably work through some of the work during the winter while some of the contractors can volunteer their services. Any discussion? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 22, vote to accept the proposal from Ty and Bond for a Hatchet Brook Reservoir Number 3 dredge permitting and design services in the amount of $246,500 to be funded from the account 42000053000064 raw water improvement. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Councilor,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through
Adams?
you, unanimous, recommend approval.
unanimous at subcommittee. Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 23, vote to allow the town manager to enter into agreement with Pioppi Construction Incorporated and Jeff Brusso in response to the 2025-26 winter hire equipment for the snow plowing and snow removal. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Same thing on this one as well, unanimous.
Councilor Adams,
Recommend
it's
approval.
unanimous at subcommittee. Approval? Discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 24, vote to accept the bid price for forestry harvesting within the watershed to Premier Logging in the amount of $23,322. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
Same-
Councilor Adams?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The same thing here, but just understanding that the $23,000 goes to the town. Thank you, after forestry.
Councilor, oh, excuse me,
Yeah.
Mr. Town Manager.
I think I wish I was a counselor. Sometimes. Just for everybody to know, we go highest price, so we are getting the highest price for the sale of timber from the forestry cutting plant in the watershed, so we accept the highest bid.
Any further discussion? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to 25, vote to award a contract to Ludlow Construction in the amount of $2,447,953.90. Base plus alternate 1, construction of River/Crane Street, Phase 2. Allow the town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Unanimous, recommended up here,
Thank you, Councilor.
subcommittee. Yep.
Any further discussion? None. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present. Moving on to demolition delay bylaw first reading.
Mr. Chair,
Councilor Senior?
I'd like to make a motion that we refer this matter to the planning board for further review and action.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Gil Provost.
And Mr. Chair, if I can continue, I've had concerns with this demolition bylaw from the beginning. And as I reviewed it more and more, I question the timelines that they put forward, such as a preferable, and if you look on line 11, I
Councilor
guess you'd
Senior.
call it
Councilor Senior,
definitions.
motion to refer to
Planning
planning board. It'll come back for us to reevaluate what they come up
Okay.
with. So the discussion right now is motion to refer. If you don't want to refer it, or why to refer it.
Right, okay, no, that's good.
Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I would support this motion to refer it to the planning board. This came through my committee, General Government. Since it's come up, I've had an opportunity to take a look at, do a little more research on it, compared it to similar bylaws in other towns, and it appears that there's a lot, that there are some things that we probably should have the planning board take a look at. Particularly the age of the buildings that would qualify. In most of the bylaws I read, there was, it was either a date, such as 1945, anything that was built before 1945, or 75 years, or 100 years in some cases. We had an 18-month moratorium on demolition if it's deemed a significant building. None of the bylaws I read went that long. Most of them were either 6 months to a year. There's no way to appeal in the statute, in the bylaw, currently, there's no way to appeal a decision by the Historical Commission. I think that should be considered by the planning board as to whether the town council could override, should be able to override a decision by the Historical Committee. So I think for those reasons, I support Councilor Chenia's motion. Thank you.
Any discussion? Peg Dean.
Yes, if I may, I just want to thank Councillor Kelly for bringing forward his concerns. I want to thank Mike Colagnesi for also reviewing the bylaw and suggesting comments. I think there's a big disconnect between what Ted had reviewed with the Historical Commission and the Historical Commission Chair's understanding that it would be revised to change down the review time to 6 months and to make the properties eligible for review discrete to just those on the National Register. And then unfortunately, that final bylaw that came to you was not that concise. And so I think this will be a simple correction because I do remember the Historical Commission really coming to terms with the building commissioner on more reasonable grounds. So thank you, and I look forward to the planning board reviewing it.
I think that when the bylaw came up and it was being discussed, we have a planning board. Why have a planning board if we don't utilize the planning board recommendation? So I talked to the chairman of the planning board, and I talked to my colleague Nazy and Dave Paya, and I thought it was a great idea to bring it back to planning board because there are no mechanisms in the bylaw. I mean, I think the intent is always good when it comes out of a board and commission. But then when it comes to the legal end of it, it gets a little more complicated. And then looking to the future of somebody buying a piece of property, and then all of a sudden you can't do anything with it for a certain amount of time. No check and balance on time frames or whether the Historical Society can just go do it, whatever they want without some check and balance on it. So I think it's a good idea, and I hope the council will go along with letting that planning board go forward with it.
Mr. Chair, also on top of what Councilor Kelly had to say is I really want legal to look at section 12.104, responsibility of owners. In that section, it says that the Historical Commission will be allowed by the property owner to take exterior photos and vacant interior photos. I feel it's an infringement of government going on somebody's property and say.
And again, referring it is what we need to do.
Okay.
I'm recommending it highly. Councilor Adams.
Not that I'm opposed to this, but Historical Commission, are they here to, any comments or all from them? Okay, very well, thank you. That's all.
With all due respect, it's in front of the council, and it was a decision. Let's go through it and work on what they presented. They presented their bylaw. This is their best foot forward. We went to our subcommittee, let the planning board chew on it, and then there were a lot of technical stuff that Mike, and I thank Mike Colagnesi for stepping in and having that conversation with me, but it's going through the process and we'll work on it. Any further discussion on referring? If not, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion's referred to planning board. Moving on to Councilor's Forum. Councilor Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. I just want to congratulate Chief Woodson again on his appointment and Jacques on his retirement. And also, just to let everybody know, we're still working on the transfer station and curbside. I had a nice long conversation with the town manager the other day about the curbside, and look forward to moving forward and working with him through this process. And lastly, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there. Thank you.
Councilor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you. I'd like to congratulate Chief Woodson as well. My apologies for not being there. I had work commitments that day that I could not move, but I really did want to be there. If I wasn't there in person, I was certainly there with him in spirit. But again, congratulations. It's a real feather in his cap and a feather in the town's cap as well. After we voted last week to waive the reading of the bylaw, I got a number of comments from citizens and others that they believe that we violated the charter in doing so. I took a look at that, and we do have a legal opinion, I believe, that says that we can waive it.
Right.
But one of the things I think we missed was that if we waive it, we have to still read a summary of the law or the rule. So just going forward, when we do waive it, we need to have a summary prepared so that we can read that. And I can foresee where we would have maybe a very lengthy bylaw where it would simply be almost unintelligible to read such a lengthy bylaw. It would be more of a service to provide a summary of it as opposed to reading the whole thing. So just going forward, I think we just need to be a little more mindful of that. And that said, just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays generally to everybody out there and to all my co-counselors here. Thank you.
Councilor Dow.
Thank you, Chair, to you. Again, Chief Woodson, congratulations. It was a beautiful event. It was really first time for me. It was very special. Good luck. Decoration, I want to thank everyone decorated the town hall. A great job. Thank you for my special thing right here in front of the American flag. I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone, the residents, and Happy New Year. Be safe out there. I want to say thank you for the DPW for staying up on a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Make sure everybody's safe. If it's snow, ice, salt. Same thing for the police officer, police department, everybody worked here, dispatcher, officers, fire department, firefighters. Be safe out there on the holiday, and thank you, everyone.
Councilor Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. I'd also like to congratulate Chief Woodson. He's done a lot of good for the town and for the department. The fact that the department is now certified says a lot about making the department the best that it can be, one of the finest in the state, if not the finest in the state. And he's going to bring a lot of good to the Chiefs of Police Association as well. I'm sure that they recognize the talent that he has, and I'm sure he's going to do a lot for that association and for the state. I'd like to just emphasize to the residents that item number 22 that we voted on tonight, the dredging item for Hatchbrook Reservoir number 3, directly addresses the complaints that people have every summer about the change in the water color and the water odor. The fact that reservoir has never been dredged and it's over 100 years old. I was told at a subcommittee meeting that there's something like 4 feet of detritus at the bottom of the reservoir. That's all going to be pulled out. It's going to go down to clay and gravel, and that organic material will not fester up into the water in the summer as the temperatures change. So in all the time I've been on the council, 7.5 years, that's been one of the big complaints that I've gotten and that we constantly hear about. And to finally see that there's something being done about it, that we found a way to begin to address it is a nice Christmas present. So next summer, hopefully you'll all appreciate the fact that the water is starting to get better. I'd like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to Sharon, our clerk, and to my fellow councilors and to the residents in town. It's been a long year. It's been a rough year for some people, and I feel badly about that. But to those who need the boost, I hope that you have a blessed New Year as well. Thank you.
Councilor Provost.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, I would like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Councilor Ortiz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, I'd like to just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Councilor Ginia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, I want to thank our public safety people for this weekend. They had a tremendous weekend going on with accidents and wires down and those kind of things that happened during the storms that we had over on Friday and Saturday night. And I want to thank them for the hard work that they did. I also want to congratulate Chief Woodson again for his being the president of the Mass Police Chiefs Association. It's an honor for this community to have our chief there. It was one of the best events that I've been to since being on council. And I look forward for him to bring updated information and policies and those forth from the association to our community. I want to wish the community and all our public employees, both town hall, police, fire, DPW, any of the public employees, that we have a very Merry Christmas. And I'm looking forward to a very productive 2026 with the council that we have up here. And again, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Moving on to discussion of the next meeting date. Town council meeting on Monday, January 12th, 2026, 7 p.m. Moving on to 29, adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of all present.